1, 2, 3, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Really killing that New Year's resolution, aren't you?
Push-ups are hard. I need a new resolution.
You know what you could do? You could try some of these Nordic trends that are good for a New Year's resolution, or honestly, any time of year. Let's go take a look.
Okay, y'all, today we're gonna look at terms, traits, and lifestyle trends that are actually just part of day-to-day life in the Nordic countries. Some of these things you may have heard about for years, and others might be new to you, but either way, they make great New Year's resolutions, or they're things that you can just sprinkle into your day-to-day life and maybe fix it up a little bit. Now, Mike, you have the first one. Let's get started.
Sisu is a Finnish lifestyle trend that encourages individuals to push through difficult situations with courage and determination and resilience. This lifestyle trend emphasizes the importance of facing and overcoming obstacles and hardships with great perseverance and overall a positive attitude. As a result, Sisu encourages individuals to strive for excellence and success no matter the challenge, kind of like hanging from this cliff. By popular trend has been adopted by many in Finland and beyond and embodies the spirit of the Finnish people. Sisu emphasizes the importance of embracing challenges and learning from them while also striving to make the most out of life. Can you help me down?
Sisu, that's a pretty cool word. I still don't know if I'm saying it right, but I like to think I have a little Sisu in me. I mean, life hasn't been all rainbows and butterflies all the time.
No, it's pretty awesome to have a single word that says, let's just strive for kind of awesome and excellence every single day. That's pretty cool. I like Sisu.
Yeah, and that you can like persevere over anything. I think that's maybe the difference is like going into something with the mindset of I'm going to be able to tackle this and I'm going to learn from it along the way and kind of have that grit deep down. I guess, you know, if you're going to survive in Lapland and, you know, live, you know, a Finnish lifestyle, you probably have that in you.
Yeah, it's kind of like courage, but like grittier. I like it.
All right, well, I've got one for you next.
Fika is a Swedish lifestyle trend that's all about taking a break to enjoy the moment. It's a social custom that encourages people to slow things down and enjoy a cup of coffee, even tea. It's usually accompanied by some sort of sweet pastry, like a cookie or a cake. Fika is more than just drinking coffee, though. It's an opportunity to catch up with your friends, kind of enjoy a break from work or your studies, and enjoy some quality time with your family. It's an important part of Swedish culture that allows people to stay connected and treat themselves to a few moments of joy.
So I guess I always assumed that fika was just like Swedish hygge, but now I know it's something completely different. It's kind of cool. I mean, Danes, and I think pretty much everybody likes coffee and cake, but take it to the Swedes for coming up with a specific word for that glorious moment of coffee and cake.
Yeah, I kind of always knew that it had like the coffee part involved in it, but I mean, it's definitely a nice way that you can relate to your Swedish friends now.
Yeah, I mean, before we had what, IKEA and the hurdy Swedish chef. I mean, it's nice to have something else that we can bring to them.
Yeah, I don't think they really care for the Swedish chef, and I mean, IKEA does have good coffee and pastries anyway, so yeah, so we're already halfway there. But what else you got?
Let's see what I got next. I know it's only midweek, but Little Frida is a Danish expression which literally means Little Friday, and it's the Danes' nickname for a Thursday and excuse for midweek partying. The concept is similar to a Swedish and Norwegian word, Little Lørdag in Sweden, or Little Lørdag in Norway, I think, which is almost definitely mispronounced, but the words mean Little Saturday either way. It's the idea of taking a break midweek to gather and drink with friends.
Okay, this is absolutely one of my favorite words when I first learned it when we moved to Denmark. It's a great word.
I mean, it's so good that we even have a shirt that says Little Frida on it. Look for it in our merch store and link below in the description.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's kind of like a lot of things that we discovered in Denmark that like we've been doing it for years, but now there's actually a name for it, and I feel a bit more justified in having that midweek drink or that Thursday night drink.
Yeah, I think it's, again, one of the big things in the Scandies is to make sure that you have a nice little label for what you do. It's a nice way, I think, to separate the work and play concept and also kind of justify tying one on midweek. Not a bad way to go.
Yeah, I think like in the US, we tend to say things like work hard, play hard. And it's really just like justifying having a 60-hour work week and, you know, not enough time off and just draining yourself so that you can go berserk and get really hammered on the weekends. And that's not necessarily a good way to operate.
No, though we live in Copenhagen, so I think people don't have a problem tying one on over the weekends.
Yeah, I guess they kind of do both.
Let's take it outdoors for the next one you have for us.
Yeah, we're off to Norway.
The Norwegians have a concept called friluftsliv, which I probably didn't say right, but it actually translates to free air life. It's a lifestyle philosophy that encourages people to spend time outdoors in nature. It emphasizes a connection with the natural environment and encourages physical activities like hiking, camping, and fishing, which I could be doing now, but I'm not. The idea is to break from technology and modern day stressors and even urban life to experience the beauty of the outdoors. The concept is deeply rooted in Norwegian culture and encourages people to appreciate and respect nature while also promoting physical and mental health.
Of course, the Norwegians, who are so outdoorsy, would have a word and a concept for this, though some of our Norwegian friends in Copenhagen, they don't mind the indoors, it seems, too.
Yeah, I don't know how we met the only Norwegians that don't like to ski, but I think it would be tough to grow up in Norway and not at least enjoy the outdoors, and they do that quite well.
Yeah, even in a city like Oslo, I mean, the nature literally comes right into the city itself. And we had a video about this when we were there back in July. So it's a fantastic example of how nature and outdoors is just a part of daily life in Norway, whether you're in the mountains by the sea or even in the biggest cities.
Yeah, it definitely was one thing that really shocked us when we went to Oslo, is just how much the city almost is built to house and show off the nature that was there before the city was built. It's fantastic the way they did it. And, this is also an easy thing that you can build into your lifestyle, getting a little bit more out to nature. I know we've always kind of lived in a city, but when we have those weekends or those excuses to get out in nature, or even just go to a park and kind of lay on the ground and have our feet in the grass, that's kind of a nice feeling. Easy one to put into your life.
Absolutely. Hygge is a Danish concept that embraces the idea of enjoying life's simple pleasures. It's about creating an atmosphere of joy and contentment, often through activities like eating, drinking, and being with friends and family. It can include activities such as cozy nights by the fireplace, sharing good food and conversation, and generally taking pleasure in life's simple moments. Hygge is all about creating an atmosphere of warmth and contentment in your home and in your life. And it's become a popular concept internationally.
Yeah, we jumped into this one almost literally when we got off the plane and went to Denmark. They sell the book, The Little Book of Hygge, in the airport, so it's kind of hard to miss whether you're visiting or moving to Denmark. I know we literally bought that book in the airport before we settled into our new home in Copenhagen.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where there's actually a bar in our hometown of Philadelphia called Bar Hygge. There's nothing necessarily Danish about it. I think just the name. It has cozy little nooks inside of it. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's easy to embrace the concept of Hygge when you're in the middle of crap winter in January, February, March. It's dark outside, it's cold outside, it's raining in Copenhagen. Yeah, you want to sit inside with some candles, some friends, play some games, sip some wine. It's a heck of a way to go.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to embrace a little bit of Hygge? And it's an easy one to add into your lifestyle. Literally, just take some time to enjoy the people around you and kind of slow things down, which seems to be a trend in a lot of these that we're talking about today.
Yeah, it's true. Now, let's go see how you discovered how the Finns do their version of Hygge, I guess. Let's see what you find.
Yeah.
Sauna is a traditional Finnish idea that dates back centuries. Obviously, it's a place of relaxation and reflection, and sauna can refer to the room itself, a small building that's heated to a high temperature and filled with steam, or the verb of actually enjoying such an experience. Sauna has well-known therapeutic and cleansing benefits such as improved circulation, relaxation, and stress relief. People may also use sauna to socialize with friends and family or simply enjoy the warmth. Sauna is an important part of the Finnish lifestyle and is a popular pastime for many Finns all around the world, and versions of sauna exist in many other countries as well in their spa cultures.
Yeah, so that is sauna. And did you know that sauna, or sauna, I think is pronounced differently in the traditional Finnish language, but that's actually the most commonly used Finnish word in the English language.
I believe that. I really can't think of any others necessarily. But I mean, we've done sauna many different places around Europe, and we've done sauna, of course, in Denmark, we've done it in Germany, we've done it in Latvia, and a couple other places. Probably the most memorable was actually in Finland. We've done it twice. Once in the harbor in Helsinki, and most memorably up north of the Arctic Circle, where we got to do a traditional sauna and then hop into a frozen lake. That was certainly refreshing.
Yeah, that was so cold. It is one thing, though, I think, in America, I notice is that it's not as common to have a sauna in, say, a gym or other spaces, but I find that across Europe, it's very common, especially in the Nordic countries, to almost always have a sauna in any kind of gym or pool, anything like that. Even my old office used to have a sauna that, you know, a lot of people bike to work and then want to go and take a sauna or jump in the harbor and then go into the sauna before they start the workday or at the end of their workday. I don't know. I never did that, but
Sauna to me is kind of funny. I mean, so much of Scandinavian, Nordic culture is very much about moderation. It's very much about minimalism. And then here, we're going to go experience the hottest of hot things in the sauna and then go jump into a cold lake or harbor, the coldest thing possible. It's kind of interesting how we pull the extremes in when an area is known for the middle.
Well, the longer we live here, maybe you'll eventually get it. But let's move on to our next one.
Kos is a concept in Norwegian culture that encompasses both physical and mental well-being. It's an idea that encourages people to prioritize their physical, mental, and spiritual health, and to make time for both work and leisure. Kos can be achieved through activities like spending time outdoors, enjoying nature, or just being at home doing a puzzle and engaging in meaningful conversation. It's a concept that encourages people to take care of themselves in order to create a happier, healthier life.
Okay, this makes sense because Norwegians are really cool people, and like I said before, we have a lot of Norwegian friends in Denmark, so maybe that's kind of why they have, you know, really grounded themselves in this concept.
Yeah, I guess they'd say that it's a little bit like Norwegian Hygge, though I'd say probably the biggest difference is that I feel like Hygge is something that you can maybe do alone, but typically you do with other people, maybe not a huge group, but a small group. And I think Kos tends to be something that's a little bit more like solo activity, or maybe with just one other person having a conversation with that. So it's a little bit more maybe Zen, more self-actualization, kind of self-care kind of thing in that way. It feels like it's that little balance between kind of Hygge, Kos kind of look. But Norwegians, tell us your thoughts.
Well, I'm going to tidy things up a little bit with this next one, so let's hear it. Swedish death cleaning is a decluttering and organizational method that was developed in Sweden. It focuses on the realization that one day family members will have to deal with a loved one's possessions after their death. The idea is to make the process of cleaning out the home easier for those who are left behind, so you start letting go of your possessions ahead of time. You make decisions about what to keep and what to let go of. This means that you're determining which items are to be kept, sold, donated, recycled, or just completely thrown away. There may even be things that you want to give to a family member that you can do while you're still here. The goal is to reduce the amount of physical and emotional clutter that your family members will have to sort through after your death.
I mean, I love this idea. I've been told, oh, would it kill you to go clean your room? But this is kind of taking it to a new extreme. It's a little bit morbid.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit morbid. I feel like it's something that was probably invented like before it was common to be able to have your port on your phone. But you know, like, I don't know what kind of things you'd want to get rid of necessarily so that nobody would have to go through it. To me, that seems a little bit sketchy. But I do relate to the idea of, like, if I have something that I want to pass down to somebody else in my family, I would want them to get it when I can see their reaction. I'd want them to get an heirloom or something, or at least have a plan in place. Like, okay, that's fine, but if I'm gone, like, I might want to see somebody get a ring or a piece of jewelry or an old chest or something that I want them to have. I'd like to see their reaction and get to watch them enjoy it. You know?
I like the concept you have with that, because it's almost like an ironic name where, sure, it's, you know, death cleaning, but in truth, it's life cleaning. It's being able to do this as a part of your life instead of some estate sale or going through the will of, or going around with post-it notes around grandma's house. Like, I think it's a great idea to do this, I guess.
And it's not silly to be prepared, honestly. Like, you know, reading up on it, it's basically the idea that, like, you know, obviously not everybody should be doing it. We have a couple of years probably, but like by the time you're 65, you should kind of scale down your things. And I think a lot of people do that, at least, you know, in the US, I think it's kind of universal that maybe they'll downsize their house once their children have moved out. And then that's a time where maybe they're already kind of doing a little bit of Swedish death cleaning to get rid of things and kind of downsize. And in the back of your head, you kind of know that, like, that's why.
Sure. Maybe that explains why our moms are giving us our high school report cards and construction projects from the 4th grade that have been sitting in the closet for years.
That's it. Every time we go home, it's just a little bit of preemptive Swedish death cleaning.
Scandinavian minimalism is a design and lifestyle philosophy that originated in the Nordic countries of Europe. It's characterized by its simple, clean lines and focus on functionality. Unlike American and Japanese minimalism, which tend to be more austere, Scandinavian minimalism emphasizes comfort and coziness.
Okay, yeah, this is a cool concept. I definitely don't think that I necessarily have the budget or the patience or the design eye to like redecorate my home because you know, it's a lifestyle trend, but I do see some value in this and, you know, kind of incorporating some of these elements into how our home is laid out, or even buying some new pieces when they have to be replaced that kind of fit this idea.
Yeah, I think sometimes the idea of Scandinavian minimalism gets misconstrued as being austere, when instead it's kind of finding that nexus between kind of function and, you know, beauty and coziness, looking for something that maybe isn't highly ornamented or, you know, highly ostentatious. The idea is find something that you need, like you need a chair, you need a sofa, you need a table, but then take it in a way that kind of exemplifies its purpose and does it in a way that just really kind of resonates in its style and design. I think, I'll be honest with you, I've really embraced it since coming here.
So it's like the function obviously makes sense. Like if you're going to take up space, make it functional, but also make it cozy and comfortable because it's your home.
Sure.
Minimalism doesn't mean get rid of all of your shit. It means make your shit cozy.
Right. And I think another piece of it too is it's also very much, I mean, a lot of these concepts we've talked about are going to something in nature. It's that same concept as you look at textiles and materials, that you're going to be looking for a lot of natural things. Or if you do things that are more man-made, it's going to be things like the porcelains, it's going to be the silvers, things that are also quite kind of simple and still, while they might be man-made and maybe man-organized, like they're still going to be quite obviously they have something from nature, and they're not going to be, again, highly ornamented, highly ornate in that way.
Yeah, I know, like in the Nordics, it's big to bring the outdoors indoors, so this totally makes sense. Lagom is a Swedish word that loosely translates to just right or in moderation. It's a concept of balance and moderation, and it's deeply rooted in Swedish culture. Lagom can be applied to many aspects of life, such as work, relationships, and lifestyle. It emphasizes the importance of finding balance, being mindful of your resources, and not being too excessive. The idea is to not have too much, but also not too little of anything. You strive for the middle ground. This idea is highly valued in Swedish society, and it's seen in many aspects of life, such as work-life balance, healthy eating, and recycling, and other green initiatives.
Yeah, I really like this concept of trying to find a more balanced lifestyle this year. Not a bad New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I'm not great with moderation, but I'm also not great at just flat giving something up like cold turkey. I wouldn't be able to do that. And that's why I really like this one. It's the idea that, like, yeah, you can have that ice cream, but also make sure that you go to the gym that day or do a little exercise, go for a walk, do something. You know, yeah, you can watch some Netflix, but you should also read that day.
Netflix and read? I think the kids call it something different, Derek.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's next.
Okay. Niksen is Dutch, not Nordic, but hey, it's Northern European, and it's the concept that encourages the intentional practice of doing nothing. It implies that taking the time to simply sit and be still without the pressure to accomplish anything is beneficial to one's mental and emotional health. Niksen is often compared to mindfulness, as both practices involve being aware of and savoring the present moment. The concept of Niksen promotes a more relaxed approach to life by focusing on the present and not feeling guilty for taking a bit of a break. This practice allows for a greater sense of inner peace and calm, as well as an improved productivity in other areas of one's life.
Okay, yeah, it's Dutch, but we do have a lot of viewers in the Netherlands, and a lot of Americans confuse Dutch and Danish anyway, so, like, yeah, that's basically Nordic qualified. Yeah, and definitely can get behind any trend of doing nothing. I kind of did that most of the time in college, so I'm with it.
See, that's proof that this thing works. Look at how you've turned out. See, there you go. I mean, mindfulness is always something that is a buzzword. It's always about being more mindful. And there's probably dozens and dozens of books out there about this. But as a concept, this is pretty simple. It's kind of find your place, find your comfort, find where you want to be. It's almost a little bit of Zen in that way. I think it's a really positive thing.
And don't feel guilty about it.
I don't feel guilty about it. I think it's the best part of it is that sometimes doing nothing is doing something. And on top of it, I like the concept here too of that you can find that mindfulness, even with the cacophony of life all around you. It can be as simple as pulling the earbuds out when you're on the metro and just hear the world around you instead of trying to get away from it. That's doing nothing too.
Yeah, that's cute. But I'm getting a little hungry, so...
Yeah, let's see what you have in the kitchen for us.
New Nordic is an approach to food that focuses on sustainability, nutrition, and freshness. It's based on the idea of reconnecting people with the natural environment and their food sources. New Nordic food is about creating a lifestyle that celebrates local and seasonal produce, traditional cooking techniques, and a reverence for the past. It emphasizes healthy eating habits, local sourcing of ingredients, and a focus on flavor. The goal is to create nutritious, delicious meals that are both nourishing and satisfying. It also encourages people to be mindful of their impact on the environment and to be conscious of the food choices that they're making. New Nordic food is a way of living that values healthy sustainability and good taste.
So New Nordic, obviously, as many of you know, it's best exemplified by one of the beginners of it in the restaurant Robe in Copenhagen, world-renowned, often one of the best restaurants in the world. So New Nordic isn't just something that is a buzzword, it's something that's truly world-renowned.
Yeah, it's a great way to have a healthier lifestyle. I know that's something that a lot of people have as a New Year's resolution, or even periodically through the year decide, okay, this is it. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to eat this way. I'm going to change my diet. That's something that I've done quite a few times in kind of a New Year's resolution way. I've said, no, I'm eating healthier this year. New Nordic is a great way to incorporate some of those concepts of eating locally, locally sourced ingredients and things that are going to taste better and be more natural. Like, I love this idea.
Yeah, and you could do other diets like paleo to try to do kind of crazy ways our ancestors used to be, but culturally it's kind of cool. You can do wherever you live. If you're not in the Nordic countries, do new wherever you are. Kind of go back to the roots and find out what people in your area ate back in the day and try to do that, which probably were roots if you're in a place like the Nordics.
Yeah, it's kind of like that farm to table concept that's really taken off in other parts of the world. So yeah, I love New Nordic, and it's a delicious way to experience Danish and Nordic food culture, but it's also a really cool concept to put into your daily life. And if you want to take a deeper dive into some of the other things we mentioned, specifically hygge, and you really want to understand it, you're going to have to watch this video right here. So stick with us, watch this video on hygge, and thanks for watching, everybody. Happy New Year, and hi.